Hi, I'm Adelheid on Dustloop and SRK, Adelheid Stark on Twitter and YouTube. There's a thread in the Dustloop staff forum in which Kudashi brought up the idea of infracting people for using racist, sexist, homophobic slurs. This brought with it quite a bit of discussion. Now, I talked about this on Twitter and Facebook last night, but I know I have a lot more subscribers than followers, so I wanted to talk about it here, too. In that thread, someone posted the following. As for people who get offended just by seeing a word, even if it's not directed at them or meant to be used in an offensive way, can't you just ignore it? I mean, is it really that big of a deal? You're expecting too much of the community if you want them to be mindful of those around them 24/7. People just want to be themselves. It's bad enough that they're forbidden from using certain words at specific times and places. Now they would have to come to a forum that does the same. In response to that post, I made the following statement. I really only touch on 2 specific instances here, but it's not any different for racist and sexist slurs. Ignoring it is harder than you might think. The word faggot, used that way, was coined out of hatred, malice towards homosexuals. At some level, using it jokingly is to treat the world's hatred towards these people, the fact that many gay people have died specifically because they were gay and were murdered for it, as a joke. I know, if I asked any one of you if you thought that murder was a joke, you'd all say no. You all have a certain level of detachment from that. It's hard for you to see it that way. But for some people, it's impossible not to see it that way. It's not even a matter of being overly sensitive. It's a matter of personal experience. I'm trans. A trans woman. I'm transgendered. I'm a woman, but I'm genetically male. I have personally known many people in my situation who have been significantly abused because they are trans. I've known more than a handful of people who, because they are trans, have been disowned by their families, kicked out of the house, and forced to fend for themselves before they were ever ready to. Someone I once knew was murdered because she was trans. For trans people, murder is a statistically significant cause of death. So do you think that for me it's a trivial thing to just ignore it when I see people get called tranny? Do you think I can ever disassociate that word from the hatred it represents? Even when used jokingly, do you think I can just up and not find it offensive? Of course I can't. How could I ever? And the word trap, as applied to trans women, there's no way to ever reclaim that usage. It has a meaning already. It could only ever mean insincerity. It could only ever be a statement of, your feelings are not genuine, you are a fake. All the time I see trans women referred to as traps jokingly, or other ways to classify entire groups of people and just blow them off as a joke. How could I not find that extremely offensive? Even as a joke, even if the person saying it doesn't intend it that way, the hatred is still there. Faggot is not different. Even when used as a joke, the hatred is still there. There's absolutely no excuse. Never any reason to do that sort of thing. Say that sort of thing. And you say to ignore it? For some people, there's just no way to. Seeing that sort of thing casually thrown around is extremely disconcerting to many, to say the least. You talk about how inconvenient it is to go to a forum where you can't use certain words. Try going to a forum ostensibly about the games you love, where it's just up and okay to casually say words of hatred about people like you. It hurts me. It actually hurts me to see such things. No matter how jokingly you mean it, seeing it as a reminder of all the people to whom it isn't a joke. Some of them are in the FGC themselves. Yeah, some gay people are okay with that among their friends, but some aren't, and it's not the same thing seeing it said by random people around forums. For goodness sake, Dustloop and SRK are gameplay forums about fighting games. What is that sort of thing doing there? It is a barrier. I know many people who have dropped out of the FGC because they could no longer take the casual hatred. Let's not perpetuate that, okay? So that was my statement. I know there are some people out there who actually have hate in them, and people who refuse to accept other viewpoints. But I hope I could sway at least a few people to try to be at least a little bit more considerate towards others, even if they can't understand them. If you don't think this is a significant cause of there being so few women engaged in the FGC, you're kidding yourself. Sexist comments may not seem as bad, but no woman wants to deal with people who casually refer to women as bitches, or other words which fail to imply they're even human. I don't really think this tolerance thing is all that hard. Oh, but if you have a significant problem with anything I've said here, please unsubscribe. I don't monetize my videos, so I don't really care if it lowers my view count. Otherwise, thank you for watching.